time of entertaining friends and family, but it can also be a tough time for your pets between decorations and foods that can be dangerous to them and to the stress of having more people in your home. We have Whit Gray from Dog Training Elite of West Atlanta here joining us with ways to keep your dog happy and safe in all of the hustle and bustle of the season. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm glad you're here. And it's not just you. You brought someone with you. Who do we have here?
We have my service dog. This is Chop O. He's a 3-year-old Labrador. He's very friendly, so he loves hugs and pets.
Yeah.
But he's here to maybe demonstrate some things later on.
He's a big teddy bear. Yeah, and we will get to some of the things, the commands that he knows that will help keep him safe during the holidays. But I want to start with just sort of the basics here.
Okay.
You know, every year we need to be reminded of what we could have in our home that we typically have during the holidays that might be toxic to our pets. Walk us through that.
Absolutely. The first thing that we have that could be toxic to a lot of pets, we want to avoid any vet visits that you may have to have during the holiday season.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that we have is a poinsettia. These are mildly toxic, but they're very, very popular during the Christmas time.
Yeah.
So we want to keep our pets away from these.
I was going to say, they make some really good fake ones now. Just go with that. You'll be better off.
Absolutely.
Safer. Okay.
We also have these fire starter logs. Okay. These fire starter logs, they have sawdust inside of them and a little bit of wax. So we definitely want to keep the dogs away from that because it can really tear up their stomachs.
Okay. Good to know.
We also have candles. Candles can actually give them respiratory issues.
Okay.
So we want to watch which candles we have.
Yeah, and that's so easy to forget because so many people just have those around the house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can get your dog, they'll be coughing a little bit more. And if you are burning a lot of candles, that might be something you might want to look into.
Okay.
The next thing we have are lights, obviously, right? You put these on your tree, and if they're plugged into an electrical socket, we don't want the dogs to chew on the wires.
Right. Got to keep an eye on them.
Got to keep a close eye on them.
Okay.
The second thing we have is tinsel. This is what you use to decorate your tree, and it's called tinsel. But those can actually be a choking hazard or intestinal. We can give your dog intestinal issues.
It's kind of like child-proofing a home.
Absolutely.
You got to child-proof for your pets too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then we have a few little small toys and stuff, which can definitely be a choking hazard for them.
Yeah, and enticing when they make noise.
Absolutely.
They think they're toys.
Absolutely. And then we have all these little cute toys that you don't want your dog to chew on during the holiday season. So,
yeah, get something that's appropriate for them.
Yeah, and sometimes they look like little toys, so dog toys. So you want to definitely keep an eye on them.
Right, because they don't know the difference.
Exactly.
They don't know the difference. Let's talk about food though, because I mean, there's certainly some types of food that can be toxic for them as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. What you want to do is, if there is turkey bones and stuff like that, or cooked poultry bones, you want to be careful because the bones can actually split in their stomach.
Okay.
And so we want to avoid any choking hazards, obviously, again.
Yeah, kind of keep them away from the scraps.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Please keep them away from all leftovers.
Yeah.
We also have a few other items like onions, garlic, and chocolate.
Okay.
These can definitely be toxic things that you don't.
All things I'm going to have in my house around Christmas time and Thanksgiving, so got to be careful.
Absolutely. Chocolate is definitely one of those things.
All right. Let's talk about the stress levels of animals, because you're bringing a lot of people in the house, maybe some strangers. How do we know, how can we tell when our dog is getting stressed out, and what can we do about it?
So there's a lot of behaviors that dogs have when they become stressed out. You'll see a lot of times their tail would go between their legs. You'll see them maybe cowering up against a corner, just looking sad and sulking.
Yeah.
So like if you see those things, like you want to give them a quiet space where they can get away from all the hustle and bustle of different people and stuff like that. So sometimes we like to crate our dogs.
Okay.
Just so to make them feel like this is my space and I don't have to worry.
Right. And look for behaviors that just aren't typical for them.
Absolutely.
Right? right. And
absolutely.
before we run out of time, I mean, really,
Yes.
the star of the show is down here,
Yes.
right? I know he's learned some commands
Absolutely.
that can help keep him safe. Show us what we got here.
Absolutely. So like if you have something like poinsettias, he's never seen this. This is first time today. So, you know, he's definitely going to be curious on what it is this is. And I can always say Chop O off. And as you can see, Chop O backs up and he gets back into his thing.
Okay.
Back on place. Same thing with this. Like, you know, we want him to understand that, you know, don't bother that. Even though it's on the ground with you, don't bother it. So we'll say Chop O off. As you can see, he backs up.
He knows what to do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So those are some of the things that you can teach them. Right now he's on place. That's one of his favorite things to do. And I do have a little trick I can show you real quick.
Okay, let's do it real quick.
Let me grab this. Take 1 second.
There's a build up to this.
We're gonna put that over the poinsettia, and we're just gonna get him on top of the barrel. So, Chop O, place. Just up. There you go. Get up there, buddy.
Oh wow.
Yes. So this is very helpful if you need your dog to get up on top of something, or just being demanding of him and asking him to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it can be definitely helpful.
Oh my goodness.
So it just really depends on your dog and your breed. But, you know, we do this with all of our clients.
Okay.
We want the dog to understand what we're asking him to do.
Yeah.
Even though the leash kind of came off, as you can see, he still understands
He still knows what to do.
Asking him to do.
Well, and that's important that they do have commands and know how to stay safe, and we can do our part too. So we thank you so very much. And Chop O, we thank you for being here too.
Absolutely.
You were fantastic. We're going to offer you here some more information on how you can reach out to Whit Gray. We're going to share the contact information for Dog Training Elite of West Atlanta on our website, fox5atlanta.com. Thank you so very much. There he goes again.
Thank you so much.
There's a lot of